some experience of mine of how to tell the differences between the fabricated makeup organizers and the injected ones, because I have seen so many customers that they are coming and very confused about the differences. So I will firstly send you and show you in the video, and then I will send you the details which you can find in our blog below. Firstly, what's the difference between the fabricated ones and the injected ones is the material. Fabricated acrylic makeup organizers, which you can find in the famous brand like Icebox, Cosmo, Cube, those kinds of brands. The material used would be cast acrylic sheet. It's not from the injection. Injection would be from not acrylic. Although the sellers claim that they use acrylic, but no, they're using polystyrene. Polystyrene resin, which will be melt and then injected in those ones. Okay, firstly, the difference would be material. And the second difference would be the coloring, which is hard to tell from the light, but I will send you a photo to describe, and then you will see clearly how they look different. Those fabricated ones are pure, which is very transparent with the transparency of 92%, but those injected ones are not. There's blue or red, even though those kind of tints inside of it. It's not too easy to see here, but you will see it in the photos which I will send later. So the second difference would be the coloring, which these big fabricated ones is more clear, transparent than the small ones. The second big difference would be the size. It's very obvious that you can see clearly here how they look so different in the size, right? The fabricated ones could be made as big as you like, but the small ones cannot. That's because the production method would require very big mold and very complicated injection process, which is very hard to choose the injection molding machine to complete the whole process. But you see the fabricated ones, this is our large size, but we have extra large size. It's even bigger than this. So the third big difference would be the size. Okay, the injection ones are so much smaller. We have talked about the material, the coloring, the size. Let's see what's the fourth difference. I would say it's the sharpness of the corners and the lines. You can see how sharp and skinny the lines or corners of our big fabricated boxes, and how round is the lines and colors of the small injection ones. This is because the material of the cast acrylic sheet is straight, sharp straight ones, but the injection molding would be from the resin into the melt them, and then when it cooled down, the material just will shrink a little bit, so the corners would not as sharp as these big fabricated ones. Okay, the fourth difference would be the sharpness of the lines. Okay, then the last difference would be the price, because acrylic fabricated ones would require a lot of labor. I mean, the workers will have to go through many processes to finish the final product. However, the injection type would just use a worker sitting by the machine and put in the resin, and then the product will come out right after the one single process. So the difference of the prices are very big. Usually those large ones would be a lot more, like 5 times more expensive than the smaller ones. So that's very easy for you to distinguish from the sellers that if they're using injection or fabrication, right? But just to see how the different of the prices are. So when you are sourcing makeup organizers, you have the target price. Based on your target price, you would know basically what kind of makeup organizer you need, the fabricated ones or the injected ones. Also, the last difference would be the custom service. Sometimes, most of the customers would need their logo to be printed on the left corner or on the whole panel of the box, you see. It's easy for us to do that when we fabricate these boxes. You see, we can use silk screen printing to print your logo. Okay, no matter it's 1 color or 4 colors, as much as you need. But for those injected ones, it's much more complicated to do so. You see, they're when the worker just put in the resin, and then the product will be just come out, and then the surface would be hard to just print silk screen printing. So usually the printing method would be heat transfer, and heat transfer film price. I mean, we need to make the film of the printing. It's usually very expensive. The single color would be around $50 per color. If your logo is with $4 or even more, the price would be very expensive. Also, if you need, we can see that we have dividers here, which we usually print on the top tier of the one without lid. But for those little ones, small ones, injected ones, we don't have the dividers, because if we need dividers, we will have to also make molds for those injected ones, which are usually the mold cost would be too much expensive. But why do the small injected organizers are also popular? Because firstly, it would be the price. It's much lower. Also, it's not as easy of the scratches, because those big ones are so clear and it's like floating in the air. So if you just scratches it, you might just leave the scratches on the surface very easily. However, for smaller ones, it's not that easy to leave your scratches or fingerprints. Also, the shipping cost for the smaller ones are just so much cheaper, as the size would be so much smaller. So, but for some girls, like I see some girls, they have so many lipsticks, eyeshadows, and like brushes. I think those smaller ones are too small to include all of your makeups, right? So I would recommend you to use these big ones on your dressing table, which you will use like every day. But then the smaller ones, to put them into your like your bathroom. So when you're taking a shower or something, you can use. You have easy access to your makeups or just healthcare products. So that's all today. Thank you for viewing our video. And if you have any questions, just send me an email or leave us any comments so we can discuss further. Thank you. Bye.